and Jalen's 33-day recap, the First Birdmester.
Welcome to Bill and Jalen's 33-day recap. This is the First Birdmester. We created the word Birdmester.
And if you don't like Larry, we don't like you.
That's Jalen's new catchphrase for this. If you missed parts 1 and 2, check the Grant channel. They are up there. We're going to go through some more awards for the first 33 days of the season. Our next award for the First Birdmester is funniest YouTube moment. This category really could have been 20 nominees. Let's look at the first one. And this first one, I guess, could be called Confused Rajon Rondo. Let's look at this. Now, here's Rondo. He's checking out the score sheet. Everything seems fine. Made a face there. Maybe Jordan Crawford shouldn't have shot that much. He's looking.
They're like, whoa, we got that many turnovers to assist?
And then where does he look, Jalen?
He looked down at the player.
So is that a Jordan Crawford has 7 turnovers face?
He's looking at somebody who got a poor shooting percentage or got a lot of turnovers. Right, but definitely something bad on the stat sheet.
All right, so here, hold on, go back to the guys who are out. Maybe it's Pressey. Maybe he didn't think Pressey played that many minutes. He's like, Pressey played 12 minutes? All right, that's going to be tough to beat. Let's look at the next one. This one is called Gerald Henderson Headshot. Actually, this might have been my favorite. Down goes Frazier!
So a young lady just walking, minding her own business, get hit in the head with a basketball.
I wouldn't laugh if I knew she got hurt, but I don't think she did. I don't think there was a concussion or anything.
Well, here's the true problem if you slow it down right there. Here's the true problem. Them empty seats.
That's true.
That's the true problem. If it had been more people, maybe somebody could have helped her out if they were standing in the front row. Think about it. The ball went right over the front row. And if the game was more exciting, maybe they'd be standing up.
That's true. You know, normally when people get hit in the head, they reflectively go like this and they hold. She went down like she got knocked out like by Pacquiao. I hope she's okay, but.
Yeah, we definitely hope she's okay.
I think she's okay because we would have read a story about her suing the team. Oh, here's Mark Cuban vibing to Pitbull. Where do you stand on the moves here?
He's chilling. Okay. Having a good time. Yeah, okay. Blazer on, collar shirt. He not tripping.
Let's go to the next one. Tim Duncan prank. And this is like, I love this because this goes to show you like the relationship between these guys. So here's Ginobili's working on something. You can see him, he's got something in his hand. Parker's already laughing. Here comes Duncan back. He's already laughing, he thinks somebody, and then he puts the Gatorade, and he got him. But I see this and I just think like, these guys have great chemistry. You would not see this happen on the Kings with Boogie Cousins.
No, but let me tell you the key. Here's the key to that clip. You see the ice on their knees? That means they're blowing somebody out. That's the key to this clip. When you're winning, you're able to vibe with one another. Losing teams, you take a bad shot, you miss a defensive rotation, and I say something to you.
It's not funny.
It's Iman Shumpert and Carmelo Anthony in the huddle. Yeah. When you're on a good team, those are the type of things you see. That's awesome.
You know what? During the last couple awards for this part 2 of the Bill and Jalen's 33-day recap, I'm going to put ice on my knees as a sign that we just blew everybody out. Here's our final YouTube moment. You know, I forgot how much I love this one. It's Glen Davis's Travelodge meltdown.
This 4 in the morning. Let me set it for you.
Yep. There's a girl in the back that we don't think is friends with.
This gentleman just got a new contract to lead the Boston Celtics to go to Orlando to play basketball.
He's handsomely compensated.
He's making a lot of money. So, in theory, he could be at any hotel he wants to be at.
He could be at the Ritz.
Yes. So why are you at the Travelodge? I'll tell you why. It's less visible.
Under the radar.
Yes. There's no valet. There's probably no room service.
No TMZ.
It's 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
And he's creeping.
He's creeping.
When you're creeping at 4 in the morning and you live in that town, that just means 3 things. 1, the person you hanging with, you don't want them to know where you live.
Oh.
And you're not taking them home.
I didn't consider that one. Okay.
You just want to have fun. Yeah. Whatever that means.
Okay.
2, you live with someone and you obviously can't take them home.
Good point.
3, you live with someone but they're out of town. So you definitely can't take them to the house. So you take them to the Travelodge. Yeah. And so now you're there, you need a room, you're trying to have a good time.
Your credit card's not working.
And all of a sudden this guy tells you there are no rooms available. Hey, can I get a room? We're sold out.
No, I really want a room. I don't
We're
think you heard me.
sold out. It's
I'm
nothing
6'6".
I can do.
I'm 6'6". I want a room.
Like, there's nothing I could do. We're sold out.
I have plenty of money.
Look again.
Look one more time. It's a travel lodge. You have to have a room.
You have to have rooms.
Come on.
This is Orlando. It's
I
the
just
number one
Ubered
family
here.
destination in the world.
That's it. I'm breaking your keyboard.
You know what? He's lying. You know what?
The best part is he couldn't get the keyboard the first time. Oh, no. Oh, look at the lady behind him, so terrified.
Now, let me say something about the person in the background. There are two theories to this.
Okay. Is this like JFK's assassination?
One, they may or may not be together. Okay? Maybe that's the person that he's probably trying to get the room with. And two, if you're with a dude and he's at the front desk, ladies, and he's having a meltdown because they don't have a room, don't be sitting there talking on the phone. Leave. Okay? And number three, I said all of his scenarios. She's going to the room with him. You know what that may mean? She's on camera now, national television. Hopefully she doesn't have a boyfriend or a significant other.
Oh.
Or hopefully she didn't tell her mom or her parents or anybody else that she was somewhere else that night.
Well, the good thing is she doesn't, if she's with him, she doesn't jump up when he leaves. She was still there when the cops came, so they couldn't have been together unless she was just selling out all time for not being with him.
I know,
when she really
but
was.
I applaud her ability to be calm. You got a 6'6", 290-pound guy having a meltdown at the front desk. I would have been out of there.
Well, as I said on Countdown, I like when people act like their nickname. And he was Big Baby, and I thought that was great. All right, let's see who won this award, which is really prestigious. The winner is Glen Davis's Travel Lodge Meltdown.
I got a remedy.
Yep.
If Glen Davis ever approaches your hotel and he really wants a room so bad, I'll pay for it. Okay?
No.
Just bill me.
No. I veto that idea. I wish we had video of Glen Davis ruining a Travel Lodge computer while also eating turkey. Oh, wait, we do?
It's the exact same motion.
Yeah! We should have made him the MVP. We should have made him one of the MVP candidates. I love you, Glen Davis. All right, let's go to our next award. Juiciest media created controversy. You love media created controversies, Jalen.
I do. I work in the media, and I love juice.
It always bothers you when controversies are created that you feel like are created for reasons that you don't agree with.
And like you said, media created controversies. There's no controversy with Kobe Bryant's contract extension.
But we created one.
Some
dickhead went on Colin Cowherd's show and insinuated Kobe was selfish. Oh, wait, that was me.
Let me see. You've won 5 championships. Everybody would love to get number 6. But I'm going to put you in his shoes. He's at practice today.
It's a great conversation.
He's looking left, and he knows Steve Nash is signed through next year.
Yep.
He's looking right, and he knows we got a good collection of young talent. He's looking at the bench, and Mike D'Antoni's the coach. Kobe, better than anybody, can see championship coming. And he sees that situation is less probable that he's going to ever win a championship.
Less probable? I'm going to say impossible.
So why not sign your 2-year deal? Why do everybody try to get the millionaire to take a pay cut from the billionaire?
You just made Kobe's case. He made this case on Twitter.
That's true.
All right, so I see there's 2 separate arguments here. First argument, he deserves $50 million a year for what he's worth to the Lakers.
Correct.
For ticket prices, merchandising.
Time Warner deal.
Time Warner deal doesn't happen if Xavier Henry is their best player. Jerseys, they can charge $5,000 a ticket for courtside. All that stuff happens because of Kobe. So they bought 2 years of that now.
And also, you get a chance now to have one of the all-time, not only Laker greats that you're going to put a statue in front of the building,
right,
but an NBA all-time great. You get to bottle his last couple of years and say, this is Kobe's last everything.
Right. And you're taking care of the stuff that he did previously. As I said, I think he's probably worth 50. I think LeBron's worth 80. But unfortunately, we have something called the salary cap, Jalen. And this is something the players negotiated.
Jacoby Ellsbury
is going to make, what, twice as much as Kobe?
Ain't that something?
Yeah. So I'm fine with all this. I'm fine with Kobe saying, you know what, It's year 19 for me. This is my one last big contract. I'm going to go for the Kareem scoring record. I'm going to ride off into the sunset with this deal.
And I'm not back from my Achilles just yet.
So I'm grabbing the money now.
And I just saw Derrick Rose get injured.
Okay, now here's the flip side of that. We just heard Kobe for the last 2 years. All he did was talk about ring number 6. I'm all about ring number 6. All I care about is 6 rings. I want that 6th title. I'm not playing for anything else other than that 6th title. So he established that rhetoric there, but now he's on this side going, yeah, but I'm not taking a pay cut. Why should I take a pay cut?
There were days.
So those are two separate things that are clashing.
There were times growing up where I said, man, I would love to make it to the NBA, and I dreamed about some of the things I would do. And one of the things would be to have an ice tub filled with 40 ounces. Right? Eventually, I graduated, I grew up and realized that was a dumb idea, and I came to the realization that I need to be doing different and more responsible things.
Right.
Kobe Bryant has come to the realization that this situation, while we may be able to get another max player, I hear a lot of people saying that, but let me tell you the one thing I haven't heard somebody say.
Okay.
Who that max player is going to be.
He doesn't exist. But by the way, you put Carmelo Anthony and Kobe together, you're not winning a title. There's no other players. We're now out of the max player thing.
All of the max players are under contract.
I have a theory. And my whole thing is like, I agree with Kobe. I agree that he shouldn't be the one that takes the pay cut. When these NBA teams, they locked out the players, they got a much better CBA. The franchise values have gone through the roof. The guy paid $450 for the Warriors. It got evaluated for $800 million. So he's right. Why should he be the one that takes a pay cut? Why is it always on the star to take the pay cut? My only point is, you just told us for the last 2 years that all you care about is title number 6. You just made it impossible to win title number 6.
How is he going to get it?
The salary cap's $59 million.
I'm not leaving L.A.
Right.
And L.A.'s not going to win a championship. So what do I do?
Well, if he wanted to win a championship, he should have taken a $12 million a year salary. He should have convinced Powell to take $12 million. Then they go out in the free agent market and they get 3 more guys and try to replicate the Indiana thing.
But to that point, I'm glad you brought that up. Who?
Right.
That's the whole thing. All of the top level players that could be game changers are under contract.
So let's say they get spent $10 million a year on Spencer Hawes, $7 million a year on Kyle Lowry, and $12 million a year on Luol Deng. And I've been going to speech therapy for Luol Deng. Then they brought back Gasol. They brought back Kobe. They add Xavier Henry. They add Wesley Johnson and our guy Bob Sacre. Is that a title team?
What ends up happening in those scenarios is as you add Luol Deng, you have to lose something.
Well, but I just had Kobe take the giant pay cut.
Right, but for the Bulls, it may be a sign and trade situation.
True.
So you still have to lose a couple of your players in order to add Luol Deng. So to answer your question, no, that wouldn't be a championship team.
Right. And then
I was still older.
So I think Kobe realized that. And the bottom line is he's giving up his chance to win the 6th ring. He's saying all the right things. He's saying, oh, we still have a chance, whatever. But a lot of this hinges on Steve Nash retiring. Steve Nash just went through a bad divorce. Steve Nash never made a ton of money in Phoenix anyway. Steve Nash isn't walking away for 22 million years. Yeah. How about this? Steve Nash can keep playing until the checks stop coming.
Exactly. Keep getting them checks, Steve.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to buy me out? I don't think so. So he's staying. Powell isn't taking a pay cut now. Why should Powell take a pay cut? Kobe didn't take a pay cut. Why should I be the one that takes $10 million? So there's no chance for them to win a title.
The thing that's understated in this whole dynamic is that they may lose Powell like they lost Dwight for nothing.
Yeah. I agree.
That's the one thing people aren't talking about. He's going to be in demand. I got a couple of destinations for Powell. How would he look with Miami?
In the Chris Bosh spot?
Or with them.
Or with Chris Bosh? I don't think you can get both.
Why not?
I don't think you can get both.
He's going to be a free agent. You can gut all of the other stuff. The bottom line is there's ways to make it work if he's going to be a free agent. If I'm going to take a pay cut, why take it in L.A. when I could take it in Miami? That's the true point.
How about in Atlanta next to Al Horford?
That's not a championship team.
It's
But
getting
he
there,
probably
though.
get his money.
It's getting there, though. I think everybody's about getting their money, Jalen.
Got to.
Last point on the Lakers, and then we'll move on. I think Kobe is a good stopgap for them for 2 years. He throws everyone off the scent. They're not going to win the title anyway. And when he does, you're the guy who introduced this first in the Bill and Jalen preview. It now leaves the door open for 2 years from now, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Love.
Yes, it clears all hands on deck.
They get to sell their tickets for the next 2 years. Kobe goes for the scoring record. Then 2 years from now, maybe he takes the pay cut and paves the way in year 21, year 22, whatever. And they go and they get the UCLA guys, Kevin Love and Russell Westbrook. I think that was part of this.
It had to be. It had to go into the thinking. But more importantly, you got to take care of the guy. They got the money. If they really, and they've done this in the past, the Lakers are a franchise that has paid the luxury tax. So here's another dynamic. They can actually still commit to doing that, depending on the players they can add to try to put a championship team around them.
If Kobe was all about ring number 6, he would have signed for the minimum in Miami. So he's not really all about ring number 6 because that's not what he did.
Correct.
He's made $300 million.
I know, but how much has the team made?
Right.
Like the great American philosopher Chris Rock has said, Kobe's rich. The person that writes Kobe's check is wealthy.
Right.
Okay. So we are quick as media, as fans, we count the players' money all of the time. Look at the owners sometimes.
If I was Kobe, I would have signed with the Lakers for $24 million a year. I would have taken the money happily, and I would have been very excited that I made $330 million, and then I would have been embarrassed that I talked for the last 2 years about how important ring number 6 was.
But how about this?
Because obviously it wasn't.
When is enough enough?
Well, I think he wants to own a team. I think he's trying to make as much money now because he wants to do other stuff.
I'm talking about championship rings.
Oh, yeah. He won 5.
He got 5.
Yeah.
He got 5. Okay?
But Jordan got 6 is the problem.
He's not Michael Jordan.
Well, but he thinks he is. All right, let's go. Next juiciest media creator controversy. The fake Kyrie Irving, Deion Waiters fight that never happened, but was still fun to make jokes about.
You know, one guy shows up with a mask. You know, he has a star under his eye and Kyrie. And all of a sudden, all of the media members say from the team meeting in Cleveland, there was an altercation where Waiters called out Thompson and Kyrie. So they got into a fight, and Waiters punches his point guard. Let me tell you guys something, as a guy who shot a lot of open jump shots for a living. If you're going to punch anybody on the team,
don't punch your point guard.
You're not going to punch the point guard.
Yeah. You're going to yell at the point guard.
Yes. You're not going to punch him. You're taking that guy out for dinner, and y'all trying to figure it out.
Well, who could have ever imagined that 2 ball-dominant guards wouldn't get along?
Breaking news?
Jeez. This is why you draft Victor Oladipo, because Victor Oladipo's not going to get mad if Kyrie Irving's hogging the ball.
Yes. Victor Oladipo just had a triple-double.
Well, what did you think about Deion Waiters allegedly saying in the team meeting, him getting into it with Tristan Thompson, which was reported, and him saying that accusing Tristan Thompson and Kyrie Irving of playing buddy ball? Does that exist? Do guys play buddy ball? Because I know Jacoby and I, when we play pickup, we always just pass to each other.
Of course it exists.
Yeah, okay.
But also, they're the team's 2 best players. So they actually should be the 2 players handling the ball the most. And one of them is a point guard. So, in theory, what he says may be true, but in order for that team to actually win, that has to be the pecking order.
And you just described why the Cavs are 5-13 or whatever they are, because Tristan Thompson's one of their 2 best players.
Yes, he is.
That's why they stink. Our next juiciest media creator controversy: why is Rose out for the entire year? I thought this was interesting. It's a 4 to 6 month injury, Jalen.
Yes, it's a meniscus. Maybe he should just turn around and come back.
Why didn't just cut that thing out and come back? And that's what I did in my day.
Exactly. Exactly.
Dave Cowens actually said, Dave Cowens has been doing Celtics announcing, and they were talking about it. I swear to God, he actually did he had this old man on the couch moment. He's like, I know, this Derrick Rose, why is he out for the year? Vlade Divac, when I was coaching him, had the same injury. He's back in 2 weeks.
People were saying that about Russell Westbrook when he had the injury last year, saying that maybe he could come back in 2 to 4 weeks. Everybody knows that the Bulls, as the organization, botched the return of Derrick Rose last year.
Yes.
But not telling the fans, he's out indefinitely, we'll let you know when he's coming back.
Right.
But instead it was like jump rope. Is he coming back today? Is he coming back next week? And so finally when he didn't come back, it was a huge letdown for a lot of people, even though the team released that he was medically cleared.
He could be back in April. It's a 4 to 6 months injury. It's not an ACL injury.
But that's my point. That's why you say he's out for the year.
Okay.
Take it off the table.
You know why you really say it, though?
Conversation.
You know why you really say it, though? For the same reason they did it last year. Because the insurance pays off his contract now. And I think that team's about getting the insurance money. They don't think they can win the title with a coming back from the injury Derrick Rose anyway? Fine. We'll take the $20 million extra.
Yeah, so win-win
They're paying
for
the
both
luxury
sides.
tax anyway. I think they're very happy to versus him coming back and then them losing in round 2 and him playing 25 minutes a game.
Right.
I think they'd rather have the $20 million. The last media-created controversy. Should NBA players use the N-word publicly? Well, it didn't win the award for juiciest media-created controversy.
It did not.
Kobe's contract extension did.
Only on the Grant Lamb podcast will we give the people what they want.
All right, next award.
Is that Kevin Durant?
It does kind of look like him. Most heartwarming story. We're going to rip through these. First one, Wesley Johnson and Xavier Henry. Wesley Johnson, a high lottery pick. Xavier Henry was one of the top high school guys in the country, played 1 year in college, got bounced around. Everybody gave up on him. And these guys now are making a name for themselves with Mike D'Antoni.
Playing very good basketball. Jordan Farmar, who's out for a couple of weeks with an injury, could be also on that list. Young players being productive.
Return to Rip City. It's nice to have Portland back, especially after the Greg Oden, Brandon Roy combo. Seemed like that was something that could have crippled them for 5-6 years.
And Lillard is a wizard with that basketball, shooting a lot of threes, making them. I'm a real fan of his game.
Michael Beasley. Everybody gave up on him. Phoenix paid him $6 million to go away. They gave him a check. They said, we're going to keep paying you, but you can't stay here anymore. Just leave.
We had a podcast the next day after that happened. And I said, A, he was going to end up with Miami, and B, I was going to say, forget basketball. That's the best decision for his life. Look what happened to Chris Anderson. He was a player that nobody was going to take a chance on. He had some off-the-court issues.
Right.
You know, his appearance, the way he looks, and things of that nature. You need a strong culture from the top to the locker room to now bring in that guy, and all of a sudden, you're standing next to LeBron James and D. Wade and all these professionals all of the time. They're going to help you fly straight. And that's what you see with Michael Beasley.
A year ago, I wouldn't have trusted Michael Beasley to organize the fast food order that we're going to make for this video shoot.
Correct.
And now this is somebody that can come into games off the bench and have a dramatic impact for 5-6 minutes. He looks healthier. I'll leave it at that. Looks like maybe some stuff he was doing off the court he's not doing anymore, if you catch my drift.
When Michael Beasley got to Miami, they'll never admit this publicly, I'm sure. But I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall when somebody brought him in and said, hey, big fella, sometimes you're wearing braids, sometimes you're wearing an afro.
Oh, interesting.
Sometimes you're wearing a combination of both.
Right.
When we tip off the regular season, we want to make sure you cut that.
Yeah, you're going to look like a professional. I like having a good Michael Beasley in my life. I didn't like this Michael Beasley who was playing his way out of the league and was going to end up on a Real Sports feature, E60 or one of those shows, and they talk about, hey, here's Michael Beasley. He's broke. He was the number 2 pick.
And I got to give a big shout to Norm Nixon, who has been in Michael Beasley's ear these last couple of years. Everybody know he won a couple of championships with Pat Riley when he played for him with the Lakers. So those type of relationships in his life put him in Miami, not put him in position to be successful.
Our next one, SaveOurBucks.com. You probably don't know about this. This is a website that the good people of Milwaukee have started. They're already so worried that their owner has screwed up their franchise irrevocably that they've started a website to try to save the team, even though there's been no threat of the team leaving yet. They're proactively acting ahead of time, and it warms my heart. I have your back, SaveOurBucks.com. The OKC fans half-court shots. This is great. They've made 5 in the last year.
And one of the fans actually made one when Jay-Z and Beyonce was at the game.
And got a little dap from Jay-Z.
That's what's up.
The best part of this is OKC is cheap and didn't amnesty Kendrick Perkins when if they had added one more guy to the team they had, they'd be the title favorites. And instead, they're losing money on half-court shots every week, which I love. That warms my heart, too. And then finally, this picture of Trey Burke and a heavier Jared Sullinger playing video games from a long time ago. So I love both those guys are killing in the NBA right now.
No doubt. And for those that don't know the backstory, that's in Ohio. One ended up going to Ohio State, Sullinger and shining. The other one, Trey Burke, obviously went to Michigan. Trey's dad and Sullinger's dad, from what I understand, both coached them in one way, shape, or form, whether it's high school and or AAU. So see that friendship both mature to the point where they're balling in the NBA. That's awesome.
I wish Trey Burke was on the Celtics and I could watch them run pick and rolls. Our winner for most heartwarming story, the return of Rip City.
Rip City.
Great basketball city. It's a one-team town. Basketball matters more than anything on the planet, and I'm glad they have a good team again.
Yep.
Now it's on to the biggest bummer. Boy, this got sad fast. Derrick Rose's injury. We don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, that's enough said.
Amari Stoudemire turning into Uncle Drew. both from a look standpoint and also quality play. I got to give a shout out to a reader actually sent me that joke, and I'm going to give you credit the next time I do an NBA mailbag. That was a great joke.
And also, I got to make a point on Amari Stoudemire.
That he's Uncle Drew?
When he first got to New York and he was healthy, he was averaging 28 points a game.
And Mike D'Antoni was playing him like 42 minutes a game. And he ran him into the ground.
And now, for everybody that's upset about what he's not doing with the Knicks, it's not that he doesn't want to produce.
He's just hurt.
He's just hurt.
He has bad knees that were so bad that they could not get insured.
It's hard running up and down that court for a decade.
Yeah.
Like, people forget, as a basketball player, you got to be a marathon runner, you got to be a weight lifter, you have to be agile, and sometimes it just breaks down the body.
This is why I'm not in the league anymore. You're preaching to the choir. Biggest bummer of the entire Eastern Conference. We've talked about it ad nauseum. As of the taping right now, there are only 2 teams above 500 in the Eastern Conference. And then finally, a lousy rookie class, let's be honest.
Shades of 2000.
Yeah, the Kenya Martin class. So keepers for this rookie class, Michael Carter-Williams.
Trey Burke,
Victor Oladipo.
Yes, indeed.
And that's about it, right?
And big shout, Doug Collins. I said that on the show.
Well, I wanted to see it from Trey Burke, I believed, but it's nice to see him just come right in and be good.
But I had a
I know you were biased on that.
Yeah.
No, but we loved him.
No, I got a chance to watch him closer, though.
I know, but we loved him, though. You and I were driving the bandwagon.
Exactly. And he's balling.
Minnesota should have just kept him. I know they always take they have too many point guards, but I just refuse to believe that you're better off without Trey Burke and with, $1 for 2 quarters.
It's basically what you said about the Cavs. Take the best player.
Take the best player, figure it out later.
Because most teams can't go into a draft. You're in the lottery for a reason. So you can't go in the draft and say, we only need 1 or 2 things.
Yeah.
You need everything.
Biggest bummer. The winner is Derrick Rose's injury.
Yeah, exactly.
We're out of love for Derrick Rose.
What up, Hall of Fame mogul?
He didn't like the Derrick Rose injury.
Yeah, not at all.
What a bummer. Is this like a Penny Hardaway thing? Is he ever the same? I mean, you missed 2.5 years of basketball. That feels like almost too much. It's a lot.
It's a tough call.
That's a lot. I just don't
It's
know how he comes back the way he was in 11.
So I've seen players still come back and have long careers after they had multiple lower extremity injuries that come to mind that still played on a championship level. Remember Ron Harper?
Yeah.
How athletic he was.
He's a great example.
And then he ended up changing his game, but he's 6'6".
And they also called him peg leg because he ran with a limp for the second half of his career.
And then Penny Hardaway.
Your boy Chris Webber.
Sewell.
Bernard King got cut down in his prime.
The thing, Brandon Roy.
Didn't come back.
Wasn't able to come back.
But he had injuries going into his NBA career.
Well, Derrick Rose has some issues with his knees also. I talked to some people about this when he was in college. A lot of people, when you see a player wearing 2 knee braces, they're actually wearing it for a reason.
Yeah, and every year he had more and more stuff on his body. The shoes, that was kind of threatening to become a storyline. You don't buy that, do you?
Well,
does that happen if he's wearing Nikes?
Not in his case, because whatever he's wearing top of the line. Remember that.
But his shoes are super light, though. Maybe he shouldn't have been wearing light shoes.
The perfect example I have for that comment is when I first saw Kobe's new shoe. because I had some. Big shout out, Kobe. Thank you for sending something to the kids at JRLA. We appreciate you. When I first saw them, I was like, wow, they go below the bones on my ankles. I'm like, I can't hoop in these.
Yeah.
Because I will definitely twist my ankle or probably
Just
pop
'cause of the
my
way you
Achilles
play, right.
because they're low.
Yeah.
Because it's exposed.
But Kobe wanted them to create low tops because he wanted to play in those.
Correct.
And I wonder if Derrick Rose maybe having light sneakers wasn't great for him because the way he played, there was so much torque on his lower body. I don't know. I mean, or maybe he's just built to get hurt. I don't know. He was one of those guys, you watched him in person, and you were always frightened by the speed he was at. You know what I mean? Be like, my God, like the angles that his legs went, he'd be like, it just didn't seem like the other people. And I wonder if maybe his style was detrimental.
I got a good example for you. When you watch Chris Paul play, it's like a luxury car. It's like a Phantom, a Maybach. It just smooth with the roughness. When you watch Derrick Rose play, it's almost like watching a sports car that's a stick shift. A lot of herky-jerky movements, a lot of ins and outs of traffic. And so that puts a lot of strain when you powerfully
and he
each
did
and
a lot
every
of
time.
That.
And he does a lot of 2-foot jumps.
Yeah.
So we're wishing for Derrick Rose to have a speedy recovery, and it's just definitely the saddest moment so far.
It's the one thing that hasn't changed about the NBA. Bill Walton got cut down. Penny Hardaway. C-Web's career was 8 years shorter than it should have been.
Should Bill Walton be one of the top 50 players?
I'd say yes, absolutely. All right, that concludes part 3 of the Bill and Jalen 33-day recap. Can we keep going for 4 more? We have 4 more awards in us.
We can do
Maybe
that.
5. Who knows how many we have left? The one thing we do have coming up for part 4 is the MVP of the 33 days. Stay tuned for that and a lot more. Bill and Jalen's 33-day recap. More to come.